And is Rosemary your telephone operator? Is that in the right
He's got
place?
no idea what you're talking about.
As a what?
Hello there, and welcome to, I think we're going for episode 7. Does that sound about right, Christoph?
Time's flying by, isn't it?
Well, it does when you're having fun, doesn't it? So, yeah, welcome to Brown and Marsh. My name's Ross Brown. I've worked in marketing communications for about 30 years.
And I'm Chris Marsh. I've been in business development and new business sales for best part of 26 years.
So, we did this last time, we did that bit, and it made me realise it's more than 30 years for me.
It must be.
I'm going to have to do some maths. Anyway, so we're going to talk for a few minutes before introducing our guest for this episode. So what we'd like to do is share some tips and tricks and little things that we've come up with over the years. I already know what Chris is going to say because he says the same thing every damn week, with a variation on it. But mine's going to be, and I literally have just thought of this when I've gone, shit, I haven't thought of anything. Don't forget when you do marketing that you're not doing it for you. You know, you're not doing it to impress yourself. You're doing it to impress other people. I used to have a piece of paper stuck above my desk, and I think I've referenced this before. If I have, I apologise. Which is, don't tell me what you can do. Tell me what you can do for me. Because at the end of the day, people looking at your website, reading your brochure, etc., don't give a damn that you've won a lot of awards. Don't give a damn that you do X, Y, and Z. What they care about is what can you do to help them sell more stuff, to help them improve a process. People are selfish when they're looking for a supplier. They don't care that you've got X, Y, and Z. It's can you improve their lives? So yeah, that's my tip for this week, Christopher.
That's great. That's a good tip.
I'll try my best. How about you?
Yeah. Almost like you thought of that one. No,
Audio buzz.
Mine would be, I mean, obviously I've talked about going to networking events and doing the follow-ups and things like that. The sort of thing that's struck me from just going through networking events recently is meeting people that just want to sort of go there and sell, and they just talk about themselves and they pitch and they say this is who we're looking for, and ask me all sorts of questions about how they can potentially sell to me. For me, it's just a massive turn off. Nobody goes to networking events to sell, or to buy, should I say. Nobody goes to a networking event to buy something. So there's just a different approach to it. So my tip really is just to sort of think about, you've got 2 ears and 1 mouth, and to use them in that order. You can listening is a skill, but if you can be that good listener and ask basic questions, ask probing questions, ask why, what happens if, or what challenges you've got, things like that. You can get to a state where either you can help them or you know someone who can help them, and I think that would make you an effective networker. So my tip is just to sort of consider that 2 ears, 1 mouth.
You can tell you're a dad because I've used that myself about to the kids. You've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them in that proportion. Listen to what I'm telling you before you decide to speak. Well, you've got teenager, haven't you? A teenager?
Yeah.
So you have to say that a lot when they're getting a teenager. Oh, it's nice.
Indeed.
I mean, what do you say to people at an event if they start overtly selling to you? Because I agree with you. I go to meet people that, I may sell to in the future and vice versa. So what do you do if somebody's overtly going, buy, you need to buy stuff from me?
Yeah, I'm very polite in saying I think I understand where you're coming. I understand what you do. That's great. Maybe you should think about this, and then ask something like, "Do you know where the toilets are?" Yes. Or do you know where we can get a drink? Or,
look over there, and then skedaddle the other way.
I'm here to network, and you're here to network as well, aren't you? So let's not spend all our time talking to each other. We're here to meet other people. So let's go and meet those people over there, and move on.
Is it youngsters? Or is it people our age, or is it everybody?
Oh, everybody, honestly, the type of people. That's a great thing about networking. You can meet all different types of people from all different walks of life, and it's very interesting to hear different opinions and points of view and how people run the businesses, because you think that there's one way of doing business. There's people that run the businesses in all different types of ways. So it's that's the interesting part of networking for me.
Yeah, I agree entirely, mate. I love going to networking events. I went to one last night across in sunny Leeds. Weirdly, always lived in and around Leeds pretty much all my life, apart from about 5, 6 years across in Manchester, but never been down to the docks. Which for a start feels weird saying Leeds has got docks, but it's from obviously the Leeds Liverpool Canal. And I went to an event there, and I went mainly because it was a friend of mine doing a talk, and she lives in Liverpool, and it was like, oh, you think you're going to sneak into my county without talking to me, dear? So I turned up. Another friend was organising it, so it was a bit of support for him because I knew he'd been struggling with the event. And it's for startup businesses, and it's a really nice idea. What they have is they had my friend Sarah and another guy who works for himself, basically talking about the lessons they've learned, the mistakes they've made, not dissimilar to what we do on here to some degree. And it was just interesting. Everybody there, apart from people like me who just turned up for a pint, were there because they're thinking of starting their own business. So it was interesting for me to talk to people about their ideas and what kind of things they're looking to do, and being a bit of a fatherly figure because most of them are in their early 20s, so
Right.
same age as my eldest, and just kind of give them a few pointers and a bit of free advice.
Yeah.
But most of them were techie guys who are obviously brilliant in what they do, but can't put it in plain English.
Yeah.
And that I find is always the problem with those kind of people. Great ideas, but you're like, I'm quite good on this shit, and I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was going to basically, I was leading up to saying sometimes it's worth going to an event that you don't think is necessary for you because you never know who you're going to meet, and especially if it's in an evening, gets you out of the house, doesn't it? There's
Yeah,
nothing to tell it.
absolutely. I think that you're absolutely right. I think even there's always a sense of you don't know what you don't know in business, and if there's other people that might have been in the same boat as you, or could potentially be in the same boat as you in the future, then it's worth speaking to them. I think there'll always be a need for having those conversations with other people in business or whatever stage, startup. They've been doing it for 10 years or they're close to retirement. There's always people that are willing to give you advice and willing to help as well. So that's one of the other benefits of networking, certainly.
Every day is a school day.
It is.
Shall we bring her on?
Shall we?
Should we bring on our wonderful guest for this week? She's a force of nature, and we both love her dearly. But rather than me waffle about her, I'm going to ask her to introduce herself. Hello, guest.
Hello, hosts. Cheers,
Yes.
Ross and Chris.
So go on, who are you? And what do you
My
do?
my name is Rebecca Moloney, and I am a career coach, and that has been born from a 30-year background in recruitment.
Okay, thanks for coming along this way. Give us some more, Bex.
What more would you like?
What's the name of your company, Rebecca?
It is Career Garage.
And where are you based,
And
Rebecca?
well, physically, I am in the South Manchester area, but my service can be offered anywhere. It is able to be delivered remotely, so that's all cool. And I've recently just created a bit of a spin-off as well. LinkedIn Garage has been born off the back of
LinkedIn Garage.
Career Garage. Yeah.
Can we guess what LinkedIn Garage does?
Oh, I'll give you 10 guesses.
Does it help you improve your LinkedIn profile?
That's the plan. Absolutely that.
So where's that come from
And
then?
because when you look at it, whether you're recruiting staff, whether you yourself are looking for a job, or you're looking for freelance opportunities, or whether you're looking for clients or customers, the behavior on LinkedIn is exactly the same. So I have been introduced through the power of networking, as we've been discussing already. Through networking, I've delivered LinkedIn training to companies, either remotely or on site. I've done both. And that's great when someone knows you well and they're introducing you to someone they work with and for. But why would a company speak to Career Garage about upping their LinkedIn game? It's just not going to happen. So LinkedIn Garage became a necessity.
So you haven't always done this, have you? So let's go back. Let's start. Doing the shimmery, going back through history bit. Where did you start? Where does the story begin?
Really at the beginning, my mum was Cornish, my dad was Irish. They met in Cardiff and they set up home in Stockport. Absolutely no consideration given to their breeding program whatsoever. Could have been in
Oh,
not
mate,
that
you could have been in
Stockport's not
Cornwall.
good. Exactly that. You've hit the nail on the head there, Ross. I could be in Cornwall indeed, but
But you might
I've
never have
always
met me and
said.
Chris. See?
Indeed, well, we could have because we met online live, but I'm not sure I could handle Cornwall full time. So I had dreams of one day I would live down there, but I think the summer actually living down there would really be quite annoying. So
Hmm.
I'm going to be one of the annoying people that visits it and chock-a-blocks it every year, but can also escape the madness. So
So go on. I know your career background, which was what I'm kind of alluding to. So, what you went to school, did whatever. Where
yeah,
did you go from
came.
school that got you to where you are today?
Yeah, so left college and joined the British Army. Because why don't you? Why not?
Mm.
At that point, I'd been offered a management program with Tesco's. I'd worked part-time with Tesco. I was 15. Back in the days when you didn't have to be 16 or 18 to get a job and for those companies to be able to insure you. So I was working in a pub. I was working in Tesco's. They offered me retail management position. I turned it down to go to college for a year and still didn't really know what I wanted to do at the end of
What
that
did you do at
year.
college?
I did psychology
Mm.
and pre-professional PE, which will lead on to other elements in my life in a bit as well. And I did psychology and I retook my French and my maths O levels as they were back in the day. I think I'd got C's or B's and I was with a bit of attention, I got it up to A's the following year, which is where it should have been really to begin with. But
Mm.
So you did your
yeah,
year at college
so
and then
Mm.
enlisted.
yeah, I was actually wanting to join Greater Manchester Police. I was interested in GMP, but their entrance age at the time was 21. A couple of other barriers. I'd not looked that deeply into it, and nor did I look that deeply into the next move because I was in Stockport Town Centre and it was raining, and the nearest place open was the Army Careers Office. So I used the Army Careers Office as an umbrella. And then on the posters on the wall, discovered they had a police force. So I was like,
Ah.
and they like you at 18, they like you young before you've become any sort of like politically aware and before they're not keen on people who've done psychology and things like
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
They
Yeah,
want to mold you. They want to be able to push you in the
that's the
direction they
polite
want
way,
to go.
yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to be
So,
polite.
yeah, did 3 years in the army. I was based out in Germany. That was a good experience, great learning curve. You're
What kind of
recognised.
things do you think you learned that are applicable now?
Oh, ooh,
Mm.
yeah. Some
Mm.
of the things I need to forget.
Yeah, okay, all
I
right.
could
But
drink like a monster, but it was never something to put on my CV.
yeah,
Um,
maybe don't mention it on a podcast either, Bex. If you want to seem professional, just putting that out there.
Well, there's plenty of professionals that
Yeah.
can put a
I'm
few
sure.
away each day and week. But
Mm.
yeah, that I've knocked that behaviour on the head a lot now, a bit more sensible. What did I learn? I learned I had to live and work and cope with a lot of different people, different personalities in a very small amount of space. Because you think about couples who are married who work together. Well, that might be for a couple of hours a day, but in the army, you're literally in the classroom, you're in your quarters, you're in the canteen getting fed. There is no
No escape.
escaping the
Yeah.
people you're sharing your space with. So that is quite a learning curve.
Mm.
What else? I don't know really. It's
I
not.
mean,
I'm not
because
going
you're
to give
big
you
on.
loads of nuggets of wisdom out of it,
No, no.
really.
So, I mean, I know you're big on the psychology of things.
Yeah.
Do you think you pick those skills up there?
Maybe
Learning
not
how to
because
work with people and.
well, no, maybe not because I was the idiot that hadn't understood that at the time. So again, Chris might be a bit too young, but I remember Bad Lads Army. It was a Channel 4 documentary on basic training within
Oh
the
yeah,
army.
rings a vague bell. I like
I
the fact that
was
you're just basically saying that you and I are really old
We're really
compared to
old,
Chris.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was the person that was constantly being marched back onto the parade square and punished or being back squatted, or I was the person that would salute, but my face would be telling you quite clearly where to foxtrot Oscar. It might be, the salute might have happened, but my poker face hadn't been developed then either. Um,
Still hasn't, mate. I know
I
when
don't
I've
know.
upset you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all go. It's okay at poker. It's not good in real life. I'll give you that one. Yeah, I was the stubborn one. I was like, no, you're not going to break me. You're not going to make me cry. They made me cry, but not until they left the area in the room. It might be in the toilet on my own, so even my colleagues wouldn't know I'd been broken. But by keeping that a surprise, I was a constant target because I was just taking it like a numpty. I should have broken down on day one. I'd have been left the hell alone, but I absolutely did
Mm.
not. They would come in with my paperwork to sign every day, telling me I could just leave, sign this, you can go, put you and us out of your misery. I'm not helping you, not a chance I'm signing that. So no, I think psychology came to me a little bit later on in
Oh,
life,
that was the
actually.
point. I did wonder where we were going with it. I thought you were about to have a breakdown. Yeah.
No, it's just funny that they're in an environment that you can learn in, but it's usually after the event that you've learned from it.
Yeah, I'm just picturing Full Metal Jacket. Would you say that was your first introduction into networking? Then you say you're in close proximity with people from all different walks of life. Something that we touched on earlier with networking, sort of learning how to communicate and having the confidence to speak to these different people.
Yeah, I mean, all of those skills come to fruition in certain stages in your life. So, yeah, at the time I wouldn't have likened it to networking because it was people I didn't have a choice whether I spent time with them or not. We all had the same mission in life, I suppose, which was not to be the one being sent to the guardhouse for the punishment the following day. We all knew where that was going. Um, but yeah, it definitely gives you those skills. Again, you're networking with people who are different personalities. Some people are they want to know statistics, they want percentages, they want facts. There's other people who want to know how your product or service is going to make them feel. You have got to learn how you're talking to your audience. And if you manage staff, manage a team, how can you give someone a real good bollocking, but they still are motivated to carry on doing their job to a high level afterwards and still respect you afterwards? And you're not just stamping on someone all the time. There's got to be rules and policies and procedures in place, but it can also be directed in a human way.
So, how long have you been in the army? For 3 years, do you say?
Did 3 years, and then I remained in Germany a couple of years. I married an idiot, but we'll move on from
Oh,
that
we've all been
story.
there, darling. I don't think it was the same one. So, by this point, yeah, what, mid-20s, mid-late 20s?
22.
All right. So, came back to the UK and then did what? Or what did you do in Germany after you left the army? Is that anything
Um,
connected to what you do now, or just a
no,
job?
not really. I married a squaddy, so your career options are limited if you don't speak German. So pretty much worked in the NAFI and the cookhouse. So customer service skills, auditing, stock
Useful. Yeah,
maintenance, that sort of stuff. It's all transferable skills, as
indeed.
we know. And then I come home and suppose use that NAFI background really then to get into retail management. And again, I'm going to bring back some memories to some people, but the old Victoria wine chain.
I don't
I
know what
was
you're talking.
a
I've never heard of them. No,
I was a
never heard of them. I'm
multi-site
thrashing
manager.
around to try and remember them.
Well done, I like that one,
Thank you.
yeah. So yeah, managing a couple of different sites in Manchester, two pretty rough shops. You've got internal shoplifting going on. Your staff, everything you sell in a Victoria Wine shop, your staff want to nick it before your customers have even had a look at it. So it's a lot of stock management, a lot of. I used to set my staff up and all sorts. And
Yeah, maybe don't admit to these kind of things on a
no,
podcast
no,
again, Bex.
not set them up, but give them opportunities to prove their honesty. So I might say, can you count the white wines on Wednesday? And I might manipulate the figures on the till that there might be two extra bottles of a particular white that if they disappeared, the till would still be level. The stock would have gone, but I give people opportunities to say to me, there's two extra bottles of that on that shelf. Like, okay, brilliant. I would do little tests like that along the way.
I'm a bit
Interesting.
scared now, Chris. I don't know about you. Don't piss
Yeah,
Bex off.
can see why psychology
Yeah.
interest comes into it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Slightly pathological as well.
I don't like the piss being taken out of
No.
me, and I've got a responsibility as a manager as well. It's my reputation too, and it
Yeah.
all goes
Oh,
hand
I
in
get it.
hand, and
We
it's
take it.
standards, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, so came back to Manchester, working for Vicky Wine. You're still not, doing what you do now and career advice, etc., etc. I know that's very underselling what you do, but So we've got maybe another 20 years to go before we get to where we are
We
now.
can go a lot quicker. I take the hint.
Yeah, no,
Um,
no offense, but
Skip to the end.
yes, skip.
actually,
The word the Rizzles kicks. Skip to
yeah.
the good bit.
Okay, you write that off in retail though, but I was
No, no, not
recruiting.
at all.
I
I did
was
5 years of
recruiting
it.
and hiring and mentoring and sacking.
Yeah.
And like I used to like nurturing people. We a lot of my staff went and got the Wine Spirit Education Trust certificate. You're not usually getting that out of a shop worker.
No, no, I get you.
Like inspiring them to want to learn about the
Yeah,
subject and
most
stuff.
of them are uni kids or whatever that they're just
Yeah.
passing through for a year or two, aren't
Yeah,
they?
but I wanted them to know what soil was that grown in, what climate. Let's know what it is that we're selling here.
Mm.
Anyway, from there I moved into recruitment. So I literally my two Victoria wine shops at the time that Chris will be familiar with, one being on Ballamore Road in Cholton and one being on Burton Road in Fallowfield, or stuck for Main Road as it was. They were prolific gang areas back in the 90s. And the two shops had six armed robberies between them in a 2 week period. So I basically handed my keys into my area manager and said, I'm going to be going on the sick for a bit here. I wasn't actually the person armed robbed, but I saw the mess it made to my staff. It wasn't
Mm.
good. So I started going to recruitment offices looking for work, knowing that was going to be my next manoeuvre. And I thought, well, I can do that. I've done hiring and firing and sort of fell into industrial recruitment, really, which I actually loved. I think it's maybe the army background,
Mm.
speaking to warehouse managers, people in manufacturing, like
It's
packing,
practical
picking.
stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not airy
yeah.
fairy stuff. It's making things. Yeah.
Absolutely that. And it was arms and legs. So it was people who were going to ring with the most stupid excuses. And they had no intention of turning up and doing that job when they said yes to it. And so it was, again, working out the psychology of the people who had said yes to your work. And so that was a good and very quick, like literally a phone call, 8:05 in the morning. I need 20 people here now. And you're like, "Ah, right.
Oh.
It was that. It was brilliant. I loved it. Touched on commercial recruitment in there, and managed the branch eventually, then moved into education recruitment. Then I came out of
Oh, slow
recruitment.
down. How do you go from industrial to educational recruitment?
It's just recruitment, isn't it?
Okay. Mm. Thought there's a bit
That's
more of a story than that, but apparently not.
It's just
no,
people.
just
People.
recruitment.
You're right,
Yeah.
Chris. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm
And
trying to
it's
get something out of her.
It's just recruitment. But it backfired because I've chosen to be a non-breeder and I had to take my holidays in the school holidays working for them. And I was like, this isn't benefiting me much here. So did a couple of years. And then I fell out of traditional recruitment and ended up in welfare to work. So I was working for
Why
third
do you fall out
party.
with it? This is the interesting things, you know.
I didn't fall out with it. I moved it into another arena. So I was working for charities that were helping people with disabilities and health conditions look at returning back to the workplace
The
in either
worthwhile stuff as opposed to just getting someone a job.
absolutely all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, supporting them financially, helping them with like interview clothes, doing confidence building. It's more from this that I'm able to do career coaching than the recruiting.
Mm.
It then fits in and moves forward then. Um, yeah, a lot of people's confidence shot. I've had a job for life, your back goes, what are you going to do when you are fit and healthy again? Where have your friends gone? You've got no money anymore. You're on benefits. You've said no to every invitation anyone's given you in the last couple of months. People stop inviting you anywhere. You've got nothing to talk about when you do meet up with people.
God, you're depressing.
It's a very isolating and
Yeah.
depressing time in someone's life. And how are you meant to go to an interview and put your jazz hands on? Yay! My whole life's fallen apart from everything I've ever recognized it to be. So my job was to engage with employers and sell the positives of giving people like this another go. The government then changed many years on, and it became a one-size-fits-all service. But I returned back to recruitment, and I've always had more of an allegiance with candidates. I've always loved the employers I work with. I'm not downgrading them, but I always want to fight the corner for my candidates. I'll have an argument with an employer because I've seen something about the candidate that maybe they've not seen. And oh, so if I could put that energy into the candidates fully, that's when the coaching then started. I was like, I found my job satisfaction.
I love your passion.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. You're passionate about what you do, and I think what's the old line about if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life?
Yeah, my bank balance looks like I've not worked a day in my life.
Oh, I know that feeling, mate. Yeah, yeah. I'm too busy doing bloody podcasts.
Exactly, yeah.
But so what do you think you picked up, obviously, in your time in recruitment? What mistakes do you think you made that made you turn the slight diversion you're in now? What did you learn? You know, what mistakes did you make that made you go, well, I'm never doing that again, or I'll make sure I do that differently?
The first time there's even a sniff of a red flag, pull that candidate. Do not even be convinced to listen any further. That red flag, every single time I have
Mhm.
fought for that candidate or ignored it and acted on that candidate's behalf, it has absolutely kicked me. Never, at the minute there's a red flag, just that it's there. It's there.
Listen to your gut.
100%. Well, not even your gut, because my gut's allowed me to be suckered in. Someone's given me a reason why this or that, or I always want to see the good in people, but there's the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. There's the ringing telling you you're not going to an interview rather than the ringing after it and pretending your car broke down.
Yeah.
There's just better ways of doing things.
Yeah.
And sometimes, yeah, it's worth challenging people's answers. I do enjoy asking questions in different ways to see if I'm getting the same answer back. Um, and ringing people on Zoom, email, WhatsApp. How quick are they to respond? Are they positive? Are they quick to give you what they want? I'll sometimes ask for things that my client hasn't asked for. So I might say, oh, my client's asked if you wouldn't mind writing a paragraph or two about your motivation in applying for this role, what your passions are, what in the job specs really grabs your attention, what does the employer really need to know about you. Just that client's never asked me for that at all. I just want to know you're going to do it and how bothered are you about the job that you're going to do it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day,
I'm the first
it's your
interviewer.
reputation.
Most people forget that the recruiter is the first interviewer in this process. So, it could be a client asking for it, but it's my name on the block. If I need something to know that you're committed to this process, I'm going to ask it. And again, when I'm coaching people, how proactive are you? If a recruiter reaches out, it might not be a job you want to go for, but thank the recruiter for sending it your way and remind them what it is that you would like to receive,
Yeah.
and keep those communication lines open. People they don't understand the value of a recruiter in the middle of the process. They don't understand the relationship most recruiters have got with the end user at the end. If you as an applicant can get that recruiter on board, they will stick their neck out for you. But that's on you as the candidate. That's not on the recruiter.
Yeah, some good tips there for anyone listening that's considering changing careers or looking for the next role.
I think the problem is these days, I know, it's when I've looked in the past or friends have commented on this, is actually getting to speak to the bloody recruiter because everything's done online and you either get a thank you but no thank you or you just never hear back. And I think,
Have you heard of LinkedIn?
yeah,
Just
thanks, mate.
wondering.
Yeah.
There's other
Use-
ways now. It's not the 80s. The
it's
receptionist
not the
isn't blocking
80s.
you picking the phone up. If you're
No,
connected,
what I mean is
invariably,
that
you've got their details.
you apply for a job through LinkedIn and it disappears. You never hear anything back. Or
We
if
do
you,
from some.
very small numbers from
I
experience.
agree. And this is my issue. And this is why I got into coaching, because a lot of people see that as rejection or it's rude or whatever. So you as an individual is not being rejected. At that point, your words have been rejected. The
Oh,
order of your words have been rejected. The content of your CV or your application has been rejected. You have not been. And it would be a
but
full.
it's difficult to separate those two because the your words about you. I know where you're coming from, but it's
Well, then you
difficult
need
to
to
feel like
market yourself. So one of my tips is people almost need to become four people in one. You need to become your own marketing and sales department. You need to become your own recruiter. You also need to become your own LinkedIn manager, social media manager, and you also need to become your networker. And those four
Crazy.
things together is going to get you a job. And
Yeah,
you can
it's
do
just
all of
crazy
those
these
four.
days.
You can do all those four things on LinkedIn.
Mm.
Like, what's your branding looking like? Have you got a profile that makes me want to have a chat with you?
Mm.
Is your CV, do I want to read on beyond word five? Like, it's your advert. Think of McDonald's, you're loving it. It could equally be,
I've got to come up with a jingle now, Bex.
yeah, it could equally be, look at your big fat backside, but that doesn't work. So, how are
Have
you
you considered a
selling?
future in copywriting?
Yeah, I've considered it. But it's your advert.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
know, yeah.
I've seen people start with after a period of 3 years out of work due to depression. That's fine. There's something really valid. You know, you've had a
Yeah,
period of illness, you're feeling better, it's great. Is that your opening advert line?
exactly.
I'd say no. And then the other thing to bear in mind is if you've spent that amount of time, and I can't show you that I've just made an image of, I've just pressed a button. If you've spent that amount of time to press an apply button, then a recruiter's not going to feel guilty in spending the same amount of time back and pressing the delete button.
Yeah.
And you are not going to get a response back from that. You have not targeted your application. You have not given a clear explanation to a recruiter as to why you think you're right. You've not acknowledged where you're missing skills and what you could do about it. What have you done? You've pressed an apply button. Great.
So, what
Brilliant.
are your
Well done.
three biggest tips then to apply for a job? Is it tailor, tailor, tailor?
Every job, imagine you were putting an arrow into your bow and you want bullseye.
Yeah.
And my other one is stop focusing on whether you're the best candidate or not. Have you actually thought about becoming the best applicant? There's a step before the candidate consideration.
Yeah.
That's what people are being rejected on. They are not being an effective applicator.
Really interesting. Really
Yeah.
interesting.
And the
Is-
third one is,
Go on.
are you selling yourself? When your
Mm.
CV is the trailer,
Yeah.
the LinkedIn profile is the longer version of the trailer, and then it's do we want to know? Do we want to watch the film? Do we want to know any more?
It's
And if
extended trailer before the
yeah,
film. Yeah.
yeah, if those things are not clicking into place, who are you?
Yeah.
And are you any different to the other 999 people who also pressed an apply button?
Yeah.
And there will be people pressing the apply button very smugly, thinking, I don't need to change my CV, I'm actually perfect. Everything on that job spec, I've got it.
Mm.
I will walk this, I am guaranteed an interview.
Mm.
And then they're not.
Yeah.
They don't understand why not. And they're right, they have got everything, but is it in the right order? If the computer's looking for A, B, and C, have you got A, B, and C, or have you got B, A, and C, or C, B, A, or C, A, B? Artificial intelligence in a lot of areas of recruitment is really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
There it is.
Artificial being the operative word there.
Mm.
But
Well,
it's
it's
not used
AS. I
intelligence.
call it AS in recruitment. It's artificial stupidity. And until you learn that little rule book, you are going to be hitting the same problems every application.
So, go on. It's so the nature of this is to talk about new business and marketing because it's what me and Chris do. You know, it was a general idea. So, how long have you been going as career garage? It's only a couple of years, isn't it?
5 years next month.
Is it 5 years? 5 years. Sorry, I thought it was a bit shorter. But what do you do to get new business? You know, what are you doing to get yourself out there? How do you market yourself?
Right, so we're going to touch back on networking that we've all discussed more than once today already. Networking is so invaluable. And I want to reiterate what Chris said. No one in a networking room has gone there with their wallet or purse wide open. They are also selling, but actually, what they're doing is they're selling to the people beyond the people in that room. It's relationship building, and like, can you introduce someone there to someone else that you know, that kind of thing. It's like a favor for a favor. You get remembered because you've helped other people. And your name gets about and it's mentioned in a positive way, hopefully, if you're networking well.
Yeah.
Big advocate on LinkedIn, in case you can't tell, it's been a big subject of
Really? Oh,
mine.
right. Okay. Yeah.
I know. And if you've got a small company or your own company, please make sure you've got a company page set up. No one's going to do business with your company page, but it's there to just solidify that you're there as a business. Obviously, if you're a job seeker, you don't need one.
So these trust signals.
Yeah.
basically. He
It's other
reinforces that you're
places.
real.
Yeah, are you real? And the same with
Yeah.
job seekers. Um, are there any employers that you'd love to work for? Are there any companies that you really help, you'd love to work for? Follow them on LinkedIn, start reacting to their posts, engage with them, communicate, talk with them, connect with the people that work there already. Start very natural, organic conversations, and before you know it, where's your next question? What's your next question? You're not, most people on LinkedIn, it's like you're getting sold at by people. For
Mm.
job seekers, it's easier. However, you are still selling yourself.
Yeah.
And if you do it well on LinkedIn, you're actually backing up the words that are just written on your CV. On your CV, it's just words. Your behavior on LinkedIn can turn that into actionable, evidenced behavior. If you're going to say you're really good at research and you approach a company saying you've got in touch because you've seen they've won an award this year, or you've seen they've raised a load of money for a local charity, or they're doing something amazing in your local community, that would tell me that you've not just said you're good at researching, you've actually done it. You're not scared to speak to anyone at all levels. Brilliant. You've just reached out to the CEO of Cadbury's. That's just evidence the words. And it's just looking at things like that. You are a product. You're a human being, but you're a product with a skill set. You're selling that, you're marketing it. Yeah, so LinkedIn, my business page is on Insta, it's on Facebook business, and yeah, it's that consistent visual. Not everyone's going to need me, but at some point in your life, you might hear someone who hates their job but doesn't know what to do about it. You might hear a HR manager making redundancies and, oh, how can we help the people that are being let go? Those are the conversations that maybe I might come into people's minds through networking and marketing.
It's great. You obviously, I mean, you've obviously lit up by talking about those things, networking and marketing. I mean, it sounds like it must be very rewarding when people say to you, "I've got an interview," or "I've been offered a job," or "I've got a response," whatever that sort of looks like. So, is that what sort of drives you in that perspective? Is it
Yeah,
is it the people side?
yeah, it's a real buzz. Recruitment's a slow burn from someone picking the phone up saying I need A
Mm.
to somebody on the seat, the invoice paid, and a year later still seeing that they're doing well and maybe had a promotion.
Mm. Yeah.
I can do a session with someone and everything I teach them is actionable and they can go and change what they're doing immediately. And yeah, I will very quickly get, I've got a new job, got an interview. And what's the next stage that's coming along from that? So it's a quicker buzz for me. So yeah, it's my selfish nature coming out. I'm more selfishly happier delivering career coaching than the longer version of I still keep my hand in on recruitment, but when I'm on a Zoom call like this with someone, I can physically see the pennies dropping. I can see that, oh God, yeah, no, I've not been changing my CV for every job I've been applying for.
Mm.
You could see it, and
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
It's
Yeah.
infectious, this, isn't it, Chris?
It is.
You're
It's
just
great.
so
Yeah.
passionate about what you do. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's nice to see in people
Mm.
who you actually give a damn.
I
And you,
really do.
yeah, and you really enjoy what you do. You can tell that.
I mean, no, genuinely, really, really do. Found my thing. I just need to find where I can pick up my customers. So it takes you back to your marketing, really.
Yeah.
That structured plan of, how do you get known? How do you get people shouting about you all over the place? And
Mm.
it's reputation building, isn't it?
Yeah.
Appear on the occasional podcast.
100%, which is why I snapped both your professional hands off.
Oh,
Couldn't think
thank
of a
you.
better one to appear on, so thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know what else to possibly ask because I think I feel that it's a bit like when we spoke to Gemma. It was like
Yeah.
just wind her up and set her off, and
Yeah.
same with Bex.
Yeah.
Kind of,
It's been brilliant. I mean, obviously, for me, the obvious one is just what does the future look like? You talked about AI there. You've talked about helping people in all these different walks, parts of their own journey of their own career lives. So, what do you think the future looks like for Rebecca Moloney over the next few years?
AI will shape that in one way or another. I've not worked out what that journey is going to be yet, but it's you've got to be open-minded to all of it. I have always had an element of winging things about me. What crosses my path. I've had two people hire me to be their business coach. And quite clearly with them, I'm not a business coach. That's not what I do. But they're like, no, but you'll hold me accountable. And if I have, so there's
You,
things that people
a
approach
professional
me.
scary lady.
There's something like that, yeah. There's things that people approach me about that maybe haven't been on my radar previously, where actually when you weigh up what it is that you're doing, yeah, I actually could do that with that person. I do TV extra work.
That's
I
where I've
used
seen you before.
Yeah.
Crime Watch. I used to ice speed skate, and I'm still involved with a junior club there. I'm training new people, getting onto the ice and things like that. And I think all of us have a responsibility in a way to share what we can. I
Yeah.
think I think the problem with society is and I'm a foster carer. I've been a foster carer in the past as well, and I think when you're working with say teenagers, you're just at an age where you're like, actually, I'm in my 30s now. I'm comfortable with who I am and what I know. And I'm in a really good position now to what I'm saying. I can back it up and mean it. You talk to a 13, 14, 15-year-old, he's like, oh, you're just such an old fart. I don't need to listen to you. And you kind of like, it's every single generation. It's always going to happen. When you're at a level to sort of pass on that knowledge, it's to an audience that's not ready to hear it. So at least with coaching, hopefully it's already a conversation with two people that already do need to be having that conversation, and then your knowledge can be passed on not under duress.
No,
Yeah.
I'm the same. We're broadly the same age, and I like the fact that we both know what we're talking about now. We've done this for long enough, and I like, passing ideas on information. Going, well, I tried that in the past, and it didn't work until I did that. And you can see you going, whatever, old man. But actually, you know full well they're going to go away and do what you said.
Yeah,
And it's just nice. It's nice to pass it on.
yeah. I did have a funny story if there's time.
For
It
Cool.
was
you,
a
Rebecca, of course, this time.
Oh, thank you.
Go
It
on.
was the mum of a graduate, and she was saying, "I'm really worried about my son. He's applied for, I think it was into like the hundreds kind of number of
Mm.
applications.
Mm.
He's either being rejected or ignored. He's hardly coming out of his bedroom. We're more or less putting the food outside his door as though he's some kind of like a prisoner kind of a thing. He doesn't want to eat with the family. He's totally disengaged from life. He's stopped socializing with his uni friends. He's got no money. She said, I really need your help. She went, I think you're probably only going to tell him the same stuff I'm telling him anyway, but he just needs to hear it from someone else. So I was like, fair enough. But when did you last apply for a job? Because I know you've got your own business. And she's
Mhm.
like, 10 years ago. So I'm like, no, we're probably not going to be having the same conversation. But yeah, okay, we'll go with that thought process. So the particular chap we're talking about had done his degree, but he'd actually fallen out of love with the subject of his degree about 4 or 5 months into the degree, quite early doors. But what he actually loved was the researching of the information for the degree, and he turned himself into a bit of an Excel nerd. But beyond tapping in first name, surname, date of birth, when do they need the next phone call?
He did
So
pivot
he's
tables and all that kind of thing.
there we are, now we're talking. So he's having these chats with parents. Oh, but I really like to do the work on Excel. Well, you should apply for Excel data entry jobs then. Okay, so that was the advice within the family home. So yeah, hopefully my advice is going to be slightly different to that.
Oh, better.
Um,
No, mine different.
I was like, I think we need to be looking at junior business analyst and information analyst type roles, actually. And yeah, pivot tables are coming into play now.
Woo.
This is not data entry. This is, and then bringing in SQL and like large data sets, like really manipulating large data, getting whether it's sales information for companies, analysis, gap reports, whatever it is, forecasting, all of that, not data entry. So as soon as the right conversation was sparked, and then I'm live on LinkedIn, I'm showing all the companies that use analysts, I'm showing him all the senior analysts that are on LinkedIn that he could ask career-based questions about. I then explained we could tap into my network, but he needed to get his LinkedIn profile. A lot of young people kick and fight on LinkedIn, but we need to break them down on that one. They can give up LinkedIn when they've got a job if they need to, but they need to use it to get the job. So we broke those barriers down, and actually, the next 10 jobs he applied for, he got 7 responses, 4 offering interviews. And actually, the job he ended up taking came directly from an approach that an employer had seen his activities on LinkedIn, where we've been sharing all about him.
Wow.
And absolutely, the truth came where a job came from the hidden job market. But it was that conversation that, no, stop it. But why would an employer take him on for data entry work? Like,
Yeah.
not only him wasting his time, those companies or recruiters receiving that application, that's when they were just pressing delete.
Yeah.
And he was not getting a response. Why? Why would you respond to that? So it's all tied full circle into some of the hints and tips that we've already covered, really. But I love that
Yeah.
story.
Brilliant.
I love the way she just told that.
Yeah.
The passion. I mean, people listen to this. Hopefully, it's coming across because we could see you smiling and almost dancing and all sorts. You just bloody love what you do, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell that. Obviously, you've mentioned a few things that you're obviously a caring person. You talk about that, from a personal perspective, your foster services that you do, and I'm sure some of the things that we've talked about over the networking as well, where Ross and I've gotten the chance to get to know you. So that really shines through that you're a caring person, and I suppose you could think yourself lucky that you're able to apply that into your business life and the career that you built for yourself as a caring person and really giving a shit about the person.
I know. I wish I didn't have to charge, but I've got bills to pay. That I really hate that what I do has to charge for it. I think everyone should be taught it. It should be taught in schools and colleges and unis, but it isn't.
What would you do then, though, Bex?
Yeah.
And I probably still do recruitment.
Yeah.
I found a solution to that though. I found another recruiter who loves the employer side. She loves the going out, the site, meeting all the staff. And I'm not saying I don't like it. She
But
loves it,
yeah,
and she gets driven to distraction by candidates. And I'm like, no, I love the candidates. So when I keep my hands in on recruitment now, it's her doing the business development work, and I'm resourcing her role. So we're both doing the bits of recruitment that we like.
well,
Yeah.
I was talking to. I'm not going to give any names because it was a private conversation, but a friend of mine and I do the same kind of thing, but have different interests. I like going out meeting people, but I also like being back at the ranch doing stuff. And they prefer going out meeting people. Yeah, they can be back at the ranch doing stuff, but they're more into the schmoozing than I am. So it's like we really ought to do something together because we have a Venn diagram, but you're more interested in that bit, and I'm more interested in that bit, and
Yeah.
it's exactly what you're saying. I think that's what that'd be my advice.
Collaboration rather than
Yeah,
competition every day of the week.
that'd be my
100%.
piece of advice. So anybody who's thinking
Yeah.
about starting a business is get somebody who complements you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't do the same as you, because what's the point? But find somebody who complements you, and you can both
And if
do
you
it
can
together.
feed each other, even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, collaboration is very important. It's very important
Yeah.
in a lot of walks of life, and where you can partner with people. And go back to what we said before about asking for people in business for their advice. What have they done wrong? What would they tell a younger version of themselves? To be able to have that trust with another person is it can be quite invaluable.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for me to say. Rebecca, you've been quite modest as well. You've not mentioned that you're an award-winning person in business, and
Say it.
you were going to say it.
She,
weren't you?
no, I was waiting to see if she'd say it. Isn't it multiple award winning?
It is now, yeah. It sounds a bit, yeah. No, it is. I'll wear them proudly, to be honest. So
Good.
yeah,
Good.
I've never been one for being tapped on the head particularly. So it's not a massive driver for me. But on the other hand, it is actually really nice to be recognised by other people that what you're
course.
doing, you're doing well. So
Yeah.
an award's great, but an amazing heartfelt recommendation on LinkedIn is like way more as well. You're someone who you have directly helped. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
So what were the
Anyone
awards,
saying
Bex?
you do your
What
stuff
were
well.
the awards?
Right. So career coaching consultancy of 2025.
Ooh.
I'm in the running for another one for 2026. I've got one. I can't. When will this be aired?
Next week.
No, I fall in. I have been awarded Inspirational Female Businesswoman 2026, and I am going to be all over the March edition of a big digital publication for their international, well, it's their women's Malarkey. I can't remember the name.
International Women's Day. That was the weekend. We recorded this on March 11th.
From Saturdays. It's just fallen into March, and I'm going to be on the front cover of something as their inspirational.
Fantastic, brilliant.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Bab.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, I wouldn't have put myself forward for it, but there we go.
You're not going to argue, though, are you?
It'd be rude, wouldn't it?
Obnoxious, frankly.
Yeah. Let's be humble.
Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, we're probably pushing an hour with this, to be honest with you. So, this is going to be one of our long ones, unless I've missed anything, Christopher. Oh, don't be daft. No, it's great. But like I say, it's like when we spoke to Gemma, it literally was, here's a question. Me and Chris will sit back, go for a coffee, have a bath, bit of a wander, and we'll come back, and it's all great, and it stops us having to think of things to ask you.
Yeah, separate baths as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I'll scrub you back next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you're editing it, you could always stop bits and add more questions in, can't you?
I'll pause her there, and then I'll ask you this question. No.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's far too much like hard work.
No, thank you. I hope it wasn't too...
Oh, we haven't finished yet. Oh, no, it's just your bit's finished. We need to say goodbye before I can let you go. So just hold your horses there for a second, Bet. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, if this has been a one-off, if you go to brownandmarsh.co.uk, you'll see the buttons for Amazon, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Click a button, and as soon as our words of wisdom get released, usually every Thursday morning, it'll hopefully drop straight into your podcast inbox. If you'd like to speak to me more about what I do, as I say, my name is Ross Brown, and my website is www.rossbrown.co.uk.
And I'm over on agentsof.co.uk.
And what kind of things do you want to talk about, Chris?
Mostly just business development, new business sales, building relationships and networking. So that's my passion. That's what I love doing. Yeah.
You are Mr. You are Mr. Manchester when it comes to networking, aren't you?
Got nothing better to do than go out and see people and have coffees and conversations. So,
or record podcasts with me.
Or record podcasts with your very good self. So always very grateful for Ross and his expertise with audio and his podcast skills. He's the one to speak to if you're looking for maybe even doing a podcast for yourself for your business. Maybe have a chat with Ross.
Oh, I didn't even ask you to do that, did I?
No, it's a nice little plug, that, wasn't it?
You're a good lad, you, aren't you? Well, thank you very much for your time, Rebecca.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed it, mate. So, look, thank you very much for everybody to listen to it, and we'll hopefully see you next time. So it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him.
Goodbye.